Alrighty, so this is going to be a follow-up video from the first one I did earlier. This was about Euro, how we caught the short back on Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, of this week. How we made, oh shit, how much RR was that? 9 RR. Crazy 9 RR. Caught it earlier. It was like Thursday night going into Friday back to back. I, before, took positions here, you know what I'm saying, boom. Majors confirming mid time frame / high time frame, high probability distribution schematics. Dot dot dot. Euro NAS SP 500. As we can see, that is exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what happened. Shit to the floor. We'll talk about it right now. Let me pull up S&P 500s as well to show that. Right here. This was basically all short. Right? And then this was short, and then this was the final short. The short of the short of the short. Short. All right, but we're going to talk about NASDAQ because I took the trade on NASDAQ. Okay. So market makers, basically, we're looking at this. Market makers are not looking to long it, right? They were just looking to keep shorting. And then boom, we look right here. Market makers, lower high for lower low. This was some type of accumulation, but we're not going to look at that. Boom, shorted right here. Back in July. So bigger tap. First tap. Second tap deviation. Third tap deviation. TP right here. That's exactly what market makers did, right? So now, coming down of the new week, I saw that market makers were going to continue their short for this week. So you pull the range from bottom to top because we're in a downtrend. First tap, market makers perfectly with the Bojang accumulation right here. This is some type of accumulation. Right here, right? Perfectly on this market maker demand, meaning this, right? And then Bojang, what I mean by that, basically when I pull the wicks, as we can see, wick, basically when you see exactly this, where it comes down. Oh, well, that's kind of cool. I don't need you to do that. But so basically comes down, comes back up, comes back down like this, and then it can either make this, which is exactly this, would be it would be considered a model 2, or instead it could be like this. Second tap and then third tap. Not with the curve, and then it just goes up from here. Then it goes up. First tap, second tap, third tap. So that's clean Bojang right there, right? And then it's the fact that we are in, or that it happened on the equilibrium to confirm the high time frame distribution range. I already knew in the back of my head, okay, for sure there's something going on. First tap was also a wick deviation. Second tap, market makers also did some type of Bojang distribution right here to come down. Perfectly wicked equilibrium. See where I'm getting at? Boom. So now we're going to move this to this. All right. Comes down. This is some type of distribution right here, right? Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Boom. Comes down. Now, this is basically where I was using this chart to rock with S&P 500s. Because S&P 500, it was cleaner that it was showing more distributions than anything, but the entry was actually cleaner to get in this week on NASDAQ. NASDAQ making lower highs for lower lows. Da da da. Let's do the work right here. Range from bottom to top. First tap, second tap. This right here is my TP level. I'm basically looking for a third tap. I know that this right here is market maker supply, so I want to see some type of involvement for the third tap around this level, right? Comes down. Market makers made an internal accumulation, which is exactly what I was looking for. Because I knew market makers at some point, if we were just looking at it from right here, market makers want to come back up because, right, assuming that market makers need to come back up for this, I would like to see a nice accumulation to go back up. There was like, the RR for that long was like a 2.8. It was really aggressive, but not really. Like I could have took the long, but I was just pussy, you know what I'm saying? I just kind of wanted a 3.5 RR instead, which is like, you know what I'm saying? And then it was also just so late. Like, look at this, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was literally half asleep trying to take this trade, but I knew that market makers wanted it so bad, so I had to stay awake. I just didn't catch it that long, but it was definitely valid for sure. Anyways, first tap, second tap, third tap. Boom. Boom. Right. But like we said, you wouldn't have took the long all the way up here. You could have, right? You could have left like me, I would have partial TP'd right here on the supply because I would have assumed that there could have been a rejection off of it, which is exactly what had happened, right? Market makers made, as it was coming up, made a internal distribution to come back down. We'll talk about it. But you could have kept positions running because shit, if this didn't happen, market makers could have did a third tap like this, and then it would have shitted, right? And then it would have been 1, 2, 3, and then you would have had longs from all the way down here, right? That didn't happen, but it was definitely a probability trade, right? So boom, it comes. We're gonna zoom in on this because this is a very important range here. So this was a previous accumulation that market makers accumulated. So I knew that this was some type of a what's the word I'm looking for? It was significant. Boom, comes up. I knew you pull range from bottom to top because market makers are making downward bearish structure. First tap right here. Second tap perfectly wicking the DL tool, so I know it's going to be right here. 1, 2, 3, right here. Perfectly touched. What did we talk about? This was market maker supply that we were expecting to get tapped. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Made an extended even model 2 right here. When you see this where market makers are, oh, this was the breaker structure, so this is where I entered, right? Came down, we saw this wick. You would have thought, or at least I would have thought, that market makers wouldn't come back. So once it came back down again and then dumped, and it was like around here, I basically had my trade to the side and I just knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I just knocked out. I was like, it's just going to dump. But thank the Lord that I kept my stop loss up here because fuck, dude. If I would have thought to just trail it to right here, I would have got clapped, as you can see. And probably like 98% of other traders, they would have got literally liquidated off that. So, boom, came down, came back up. I was asleep. So, like, if I was really looking at the trade, I would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have been stressing my ass off. But I was knocked out, so I just didn't see this. When I woke up, it was around here. Yeah, going to 6. So, early in New York. Basically just, you know what I'm saying? Shit it down from here. And then I took a partial TP right here. Yeah, somewhere around here. And then I took the rest of my profits right here. That's where my max profits was at. And then, yeah, you definitely could have took it all the way down to this range, right? Because this is on the high time frame when market makers were going for in the first place, which is exactly what we can see here. Pretty nice, you know what I'm saying? Pretty nice. Very clean trade for the week. Now, what I did want to point out, however, was though I didn't get stopped out here. I got stopped out on fucking NAS. I mean on S&P, bro. Right here. Look at this. I got stopped out right here. Market makers wicked you. Stopped everybody out. Not even a break of structure to enter right back. As you can see, right? It wasn't even clean. Boom. Oh shit. Is it this tool? I think it's this. Yeah. Market structure, see. You wouldn't have called this. This was very risky. You would have said it would have been like this, really. But as you can see, market makers, this candle right here just literally shit his floor. So you would have tried to enter back. What? Like all the way down here, bruh? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. That would have been really risky. And that's only like a 2RR. Like, that shit's ass. So, and I was asleep at the time. Remember, I was asleep. Market makers perfectly didn't stop me out on NASDAQ. But on S&P, I had a partial position as well. And unfortunately, I got taken out. Which is okay because NASDAQ basically covered my ass and like 10 times more on that because, you know, 8.6 RR trade, you know what I'm saying? It's light work. But yeah. Boom, came down. Boom, perfect. Now, I do want to talk about one last thing. What do I think about where market makers are going to be headed for this week? It's very early, so it doesn't have to happen. We're barely talking about this like Saturday morning, so literally anything can happen. But if I had to put a bet on it, hold on. A part of me is looking at this, right? Oh. A part of me is looking at higher low for higher high. Pull this, even though that's so overextended. It's the fact that market makers are respecting this, which makes me want to believe it. Makes me really want to believe it. 1, 2. You would have pulled this first before you pulled this. And now we're talking about a third tap, right? 1, 2. Either 3 right here. But I think it's too early. I think it's actually going to dump even more. And it can even tap into whatever this demand is right here. Knowing them, right? So we're looking at a couple things. Comes down a little bit, and then it just accumulates off of there. Because this is all liquidity. Low, 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 low. I mean high, 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 high. So it can just come up and totally snipe everybody out right here. Or what I think is it can come down here, accumulate off of this, whatever this demand is. This would be considered a PO3. Comes back up. It would be better, like manipulative wise, for them to do that, right? Or it can totally ditch all of that. It can first of all do this as well and come up and then really just like try to make some type of short, and then it shorts, and then it just does some shit like that, right? Very ugly drawing, you already know. But yeah, number of things can happen. But us, we do not predict, we react, you know what I'm saying? We just, you know, do that. We just go off what we see throughout the week, and then we trade on confirmations. Like this right here is kind of like what I'm seeing right here, right? It was overextended, but 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Like this is what I'm kind of looking at, and then this was just all liquidity. Kind of what we are seeing right here. I don't know. We'll see.